This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is November 2nd, 2023. We are located at 9710 North White Oak Avenue, Northridge, California, 91325. We are in the city sewer right now, and we're going to begin pulling back from the city sewer, and we did see a very large root intrusion right at the saddle. As we're pulling back right here, we're coming back to the saddle, and it looks like the saddle's broken right there on the edge of it as well. And we got massive root intrusion right here. That's very large root, as you can see. And it shifted quite a bit. It's probably shifted a good inch and a half right there. You can see the whole top face of the fitting right there at on the top of the monitor. And then we have more root intrusion in the next joint. Going to begin pulling back further, coming back toward our clean out that was located in the grass area of the front of the property. That joint didn't appear to be in terrible condition. Now we have a lot more root intrusion here in this joint. Looks like there's a crack in the face of the pipe. Coming back, we have a little root intrusion in the next joint. Now we're coming back. Looks like we have quite a bit of root intrusion in this joint, and it shifted quite a bit as well. You can see the whole face of the pipe at the bottom. That's a lot of root intrusion. That joint didn't appear to be in terrible condition there. And that joint. And we're making some turns, coming back up. That joint has some minor root intrusion there. Going to continue pulling back now. And now we are back on the property. There's a little shift in the joint right there. That joint didn't appear to be in terrible condition. That joint as well. A little bit of minor root intrusion. Next joint, we have more root intrusion. Root intrusion in the next joint. We have root intrusion in quite a few joints. We have root intrusion in that joint. We had root intrusion in almost every single joint. We have quite a bit of root intrusion in that joint. That joint's a minor root intrusion. Root intrusion in that joint, some minor root intrusion. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition, as does that joint. That joint doesn't appear to be terrible. Has some root intrusion in that joint. Has some root intrusion in that joint. Minor root intrusion there. We've blasted out quite a bit of root intrusion in some of these joints. That joint's broken down at the bottom. You can see right there where it's cracked and broken. Has some root intrusion in that joint. Root intrusion in that joint as well. Next joint didn't appear to be terrible. We're just going to call out the joints that look bad right now. Looks like we got a crack. We got a pretty good crack in that joint. That joint shifted a little bit. Some root intrusion. That joint looks like it has a crack. Probably had some root intrusion. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We have some roots in the next joint. Coming back up toward the clean out. Now we're pulling up and out of our mainline clean out that is in the middle of the grass area at the front of the property. This is our clean out. Wipe my camera lens off a little bit more. Get a little bit of debris. So that's clean out at the front. Kind of hard. We have We have a lot of glare. This is the church right in front of us. That's a side street. That's Superior Street that we're looking at. And here, we're looking toward White Oak Avenue. And over at the stop sign on the corner, you may be able to see the stop sign where the last car is. In between the two cars, straight across the streets where the stop sign is, that's where the lateral runs in the street. And this is the front yard across from us. And we're going to pause our video and we'll run through the other clean out and take a look as well after we get done hydrojetting. So we're going to pause now for a moment. Okay, we're going to run now from our 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer clean out that is in the planter area here. And that's the other building next to us. We're going to run through here real quick. We're going to zero out our camera monitor and then we're going to take a look from here to the other clean out. It's pretty deep here. Drop down into the line. We're at about 7 to 8 feet deep. We're running. Transition to the vitreous clay, and we have remnants of root intrusion. We got a lot of the root intrusion out, but we don't want to overdo it and just break all the joints. We make some turns. We're running toward the other building, and then we run out toward the grass. We run out toward our other clean out. More root intrusion. And it gets tough to see. We get clouded up somewhat because of the root intrusions. All the debris in the line, more root intrusion. But we got the majority of the root intrusion, at least the bulk of it. We can't get a lot of it where we over hydrojet it. We're going to break everything. We can end up making stuff collapse, and then we get into, we're out by our clean out. We have a lot of root intrusion there. Now we're out by our clean out area. So we're going to pull back now. We're going to pull back, and then we're going to button everything up. We're holding water right there. We have a big dip and a belly in the line. We're pulling back. We're going to come back to our clean out. We had root intrusions pretty much in every single joint.
While that room's open up in there,
we have some offsets.
it's a little dark and I have a flashlight if you want to. Hi, how are you?
More root intrusion. They said we didn't want to over hydrojet it and end up causing more of an issue where we can collapse joints. But just a lot of root intrusion. It's a very old line, and now we're coming back up and out of our mainline sewer cleanout. And that will conclude our sewer inspection portion. We've already inspected the waste line through the other building and the sewer line where it came across. And that will conclude our inspection. Thank you.